don't think Agatha's ever been on the witch's road. Episode 3 of Agatha All Along dropped yesterday, and I feel like we got a lot of clues to help solve these mysteries. Spoilers if you haven't seen episode 3 of Agatha All Along. There were so many Wizard of Oz type references here that I really enjoyed, especially since Wicked is coming out very soon. This felt very on time. Them walking the road, that speech that Agatha gave them all, like, you want this, you want that, was very much like the Tin Man wanting one thing and the Scarecrow wanting something else. Even honestly, the trials, that's what they do, right? They walk down the road and then they go through a series of trials until they like meet the final boss. The reaction that the Coven had to learning that there was a sigil on the team, I thought was very appropriate. Agatha clearly is concerned about that mystery as well, or at least intrigued, and I think that's why she threw him off the set. Catherine Hahn is chewing the fuck out of these lines. Every time she says something, it's like, you know she's lying, but it makes so much sense. You have to kind of move on. She's right. It's not important who this teen is. Also, we should be concerned because we're on the witch's road. We got chased down here. Who is this man? I personally believe that Agatha has some idea on who they are. She's definitely protective of him, and then that could be because she herself lost her son and he reminds her of him. It'd be that he is his son and he has the essence of her son or traces of magic of her son. I don't know. We're gonna learn. Or he could be her and Wanda's magic combined. But it's clear that Agatha is keeping a lot of secrets, particularly about the witch's road. The way she looks around confused and doesn't seem to know anything that's going on leads me to believe that she's never walked it herself or completed it. There's something about her experience with the witch's road that she's keeping away from everyone else. And I think it's ignorance, me personally, because she always seems confused. She should have known that she couldn't trick the trial. You should have known the minute that old girl said, hey, I'm dressed like one of my customers, and there was wine there, that this was a potion, right? Because she'd been there with her other coven. And obviously these trials are supposed to be catered to each and every witch, so whatever coven that Agatha went with originally probably looked different. Like, how many ways can you test a potion witch? I give people poison and get her to solve it. I mean, there's been so many ways you could do it. It could look different aesthetically, but you know, the trial would more or less still be the same. What I liked most about this trial was how revealing it was for every character, particularly the delusion part. Getting so much backstory with each and every witch. We're also getting backstory with Agatha. I love where this potion witch, I forgot her name, pulls Billy aside to talk shit about Agatha. One, it was very much sorority core. I'm an AKA, so I know. We will always look for an opportunity to talk shit about our sister that we don't like, particularly to someone new. So, you know, we're like, oh, we're warning you. Yes, a piece of that information that she was giving the teen was important. Like, hey, you need to know who you're walking around with. For the most part, she was being messy. She wants Agatha's only ally to not be that strong because she doesn't like Agatha. And that's a human response, honestly. I love that she so casually dropped the name Mephisto after all these comic book bros was foaming at the mouth for him. I personally think that they may include him in this. I think maybe he is part of Mephisto's magic, or, you know, Agatha made some sort of deal and we'll see it tied to him. Because the reaction he had to his name was one of recognition, but also not that shocked. Like, how can you hear the name Mephisto, not be like appalled, like, oh my God, what are you talking about? There's something there, and I'm interested to see what it is. Do I think Mephisto will show up? Probably not. I do like that they're finally acknowledging him and they're like, here y'all go. Damn, leave us alone. I don't know why I found this so weird that they didn't let the teen drink. Like Sharon, of course, right? She is an American, very housewife person. So I could see her being like, this teen can't drink. But why are witches that are 100 years old following drinking regulations? Like, what constitute as an adult for them? I don't know. Like, they lived during times where the teen could very much drink. I wish it was just Sharon being like, we cannot let this teen drink, and not in front of me. I would have loved a scene like that. But obviously for the plot, he had to be underage. So I'm glad that they did go that route. Let's talk about the tragedy of Sharon, because there's so much going on here. I want to remind y'all that she is only on the witch's road because she wanted to humor the woman who freed her from her torment. We see in that house, the witches are experiencing their worst memory, and hers is that whimsical scene from the premiere of of WandaVision, where she's watching her husband choke to death, which Wanda played for jokes. Like, Wanda's playing house and ruining this woman's life. And it was just a great reminder that these people from Westview are so scarred because the hex felt so real to them that Agatha is treating this woman like you would an actress in your favorite TV show. He can't remember Sharon's name is Sharon because she is Mrs. Hart on her favorite sitcoms. The rest of the witches have not seen that show. I literally saw Woody the Great post this the other day where he was saying, I respond to Woody, not Kane. That's something that a lot of actors struggle with, where they play this iconic character and so they lose their identity to said character. Even now, I know people want to call her Kitty, and that's the point. Her name is Sharon, and she's just being tied to these characters, which are supposed to be fun and whimsical. So when she's having the worst day of her life next to when she was trapped in that girl's head, it's kind of played off as being funny, right? She's walking on this road. Her Talbot's bag is getting sucked up by mud. She's barefoot on stone. Like, she drank poison. This is a terrible day for her. And Agatha can't even remember her name. That ending scene was very confusing to me because I didn't know if Agatha had a hex on her where she was like, who's Sharon? I read it as she never knew this woman's name. She only knew her as Mrs. Hart. It's my hope that Sharon isn't dead, but I'm pretty sure that she is. And I'm really gonna miss this actress because she did so well. The way she reacted to everything, her line delivery was magnifique. And Agatha throws her wine and she's like, on the upholstery? I was like, yes, this woman's an animal. Thank you. Me personally, I think she's dead. And that's why we're going to see Rio come back to replace her as the Green Witch. My hope is that, yes, she's dead to this coven right now, but one, she's going to come back. Or two, she's someone else. She's another witch and she's been kind of watching everything happening. Either way, sorry to you, Sharon. You did not deserve any of this. You humored your neighbor who you have been taking care of for 3 years, and you ended up on some witch journey, which they didn't even disclose the danger to you. I want to finish this video with my theory about Westview and the Witch's Road. It is very much giving me Buffy vibes, where there may be a hellmouth right underneath it. You hear Sharon talk about how she's part of the historical society and how there was like some sort of road built underneath it. And it's implied that the librarian that Agatha met with had a copy of the Dark Hold. I'm not saying that that woman was a witch, but she did play on Buffy. Could be what attracted Vision to come to the town in the first place. Maybe the stone in his mind brought him to that place. That would also explain why so many formidable witches live in the area. It would be cool to learn that there's something going on in Westview, but also heartbreaking because that means those poor people in Westview are due for some more witchy grief. I absolutely love this episode. I love that they're referencing some of the most iconic stories that include witches while exploring the nuances of sisterhood and how difficult it could be. It's creeping up there. 4.5 out of 5 Frankie Flames.